Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. Now, earlier this evening, I had a very interesting discussion with Graham Rayno, one of the owners of Clifford Machines in Pietermaritzburg, about the debacle going on with these ICU ventilators, which are urgently required. You'll have to watch the live stream that is in this channel that took place today to get more information on that. But talking about health and the lockdown and the coronavirus and what's happening in South Africa, let me tell you that people in the government, in the health industry, have very, very thin skins. You know, they don't like it when people complain or they take issue on the decisions they make and stuff like that. And Professor Gray, the scientist who took umbrage about the way certain things like thongs and T-shirts and stuff like that are no longer seen as essential goods, so they can't be sold during the lockdown, says this is absolutely crazy. And of course that caused a lot of feet stamping on the side of the ANC government. But it's a bit sad when the organization that Gray is president of, the South African Medical Research Council, or SAMRC, take the side of the ANC government over this issue. Let me tell you what it's all about. The South African Medical Research Council, or SAMRC, board has apologized to the Ministry of Health and the Ministerial Advisory Committee for recent comments made by its president, Professor Glenda Gray, and says it will institute a fact-finding investigation into the damage the comments may have caused. See what I'm saying about thin-skinned? In a letter signed by chairperson Professor Johnny Mahlangu, seen by the paper, the board says it will also bar Gray and other staff from speaking to the media until the matter of Gray's comments is resolved. This after an interview with the paper in which Gray was perceived to be critical of the government's lockdown approach as unscientific, a claim she has since denied. In the interview, she claims that there were increased malnutrition cases in children at Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital. Well, that's clearly the case because people are starving in South Africa as a direct result of this crazy lockdown. Gray clarified that she did not criticize the lockdown or the extension of the lockdown, adding that it was in fact critical, but emphasized that her critical comments related to some of the regulations. In the letter addressed to Acting Director General of the Health Department, Dr. Anban Pillay, the board said it took great pride in the recognition South Africa received from the United Nations and the World Health Organization as a leader in managing the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, that flies in the face of reality. It's just called political correctness because of the ANC and Mandela and the Rainbow Nation and all the BS that goes with it. It's just quite extraordinary. Anyway, the WHO also said it was proud of how the government had based its response on the available scientific data, which is clearly not the case because they're just ignoring the MAC, who was supposed to advise the ANC government, aren't they? Anyway, the letter reads, consequently, the board distances itself from any negative comments made by Professor Gray associated with how the South African government has managed COVID-19, which have appeared in the media. And the SAMRC letter continues. The SAMRC board fully supports the efforts of the Minister of Health and the Ministerial Advisory Committee. It extends a heartfelt, unconditional apology on behalf of the SAMRC for any offence caused and embarrassment suffered as a result of the comments made by Professor Gray in the media. Now, it's quite incredible, isn't it? But of course, the chairperson of the SAMRC is, yes, one of the majority groups, if I can put it that way. It's said that with immediate effect, Professor Gray and the staff of the SAMRC were under strict instructions not to interface with the media until all issues relating to Gray's comments are resolved. Mahlangu would take responsibility for media comments in the interim. He said the board will immediately commission a fact-finding investigation under the direction of an independent expert to guide the board in determining the nature of the damage done to the SAMRC and the national COVID-19 response as a result of the comments made. Now, it seems clear to me that there's a sacrificial lamb happening here, and we know who that's going to be. So, they go on to say the board will immediately commission a fact-finding investigation to look at the damage done through the comments made. It will then take appropriate action to correct any negative implications if required, i.e. the firing of Gray, which I think that's what this is all about. She's an embarrassment to them because she's exposing how ridiculous the decisions regarding this lockdown are. The board has also requested a meeting with the Department and Health Minister, Zweli Mkhize. The letter was in response to Pillay requesting an investigation into Gray's comments, claiming she had made a number of false allegations against the government. Well, I wonder if they're going to pull her before the courts and give her 6 months inside. I mean, really, this is how ridiculous the whole situation in South Africa is. Mkhize also slammed Gray's comments, claiming that there were 5 inaccuracies in her interview. With regards to malnutrition claims, he said there's been a reduction in cases of malnutrition at the hospital for March and April compared to the previous 4 years. Well, there shouldn't be any at all, should there? It's a hospital. In response, Gray told the paper last week that she felt she was being singled out, adding that Mkhize's criticism was worrying. She said, "I spoke in my personal capacity. The terms of reference of the MAC clearly states one is on the MAC in their personal capacity. I have repeatedly stated I did not criticize the lockdown." Gray said she believed that many other scientists had been vocal on the issue and possibly more vociferous. More than 180 members of the national and international academic and professional community came out in support of Gray following the request to investigate her, the paper reported on Saturday. So the scientists agree with Gray, but the black chairperson of the SAMRC doesn't. So now she's probably going to be fired. How the heck is that going to help anything? Anyway, let's conclude with what the story is about. The group of scientists condemned the threat against her for expressing her opinion in public. Gray is a member of the Ministerial Advisory Committee, or MAC, and president of the South African Medical Research Council, or SAMRC. She is an expert in infectious diseases, HIV, and has training in pediatrics. There you go, guys. So they're now targeting people who dare take on the tomfoolery that's going on during this lockdown. Please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video. Please share this video. And above all, please, guys, stay safe.